Good morning everybody and welcome back to the Essex Allotment farm. If you don't know me already, I'm Alex. This out there is my Essex Allotment farm. It's a commercial market garden designed to produce food that's free from chemicals and pesticides for my local veg box service, farmers markets and a tiny bit of wholesale. Anyway, it's Sunday morning and I've got a bit of a hangover. You can probably tell by the gravel in my voice. But what better way to get rid of that hangover than shifting compost and refreshing beds and maybe even getting some sowing done. I'm going to do a few hours up here and get cracking. I had some volunteers with me yesterday, and because I don't really film on volunteer days because it's a little bit awkward, we did just do some time-lapsey stuff, taking out of the tomato plants that have got blight, harvesting the last of the tomatoes and getting rid of the plants, refreshing the bed and reseeding it. So I'll show you the footage I took yesterday. So yeah, that was the baby. Thought someone was going to start some drilling then next door in the factory, but no, they're not. So that was the baby boomer tomatoes. It's a bush variety, red cherry variety. They did really well and seemed semi-blight resistant, or they got blight really late, whereas my others got knocked out really early. So not a fantastic tomato growing season. So as you saw, we just cut those plants down. Harvested the last of the tomatoes, which I'll try and ripen off the vine using apples and bananas to emit gases that will help them ripen. Anyway, they'll be going in the boxes this week. And yeah, just a massive thank you to my volunteers. Oh, I knew there'd be some noise coming soon. But yeah, massive thank you to my volunteers. It's really, really helpful. I wouldn't be able to run the farm without volunteers. And yesterday I had a couple, and sometimes I have 3 or 4, and it just massively helps get jobs like that done a lot quicker. So yeah, I couldn't be more grateful. Anyway, I've just picked a handful of radish, mixed radish, but they are for my lunch this afternoon. So I'm just going to chuck them in the car and we'll crack on. It's a glorious day this morning. There's not a breath of wind. The sun's out, as you can tell by my eyes and the shadow on my face. Again, good camera work. But we're up by the bed that we did yesterday, or the first bed we did yesterday. You know, we've just seen, just talk you through what we did. But we sowed, let me remember what we did. What did we sow? Oh, turnips. We sowed some turnips in behind this. Sorry, this is like hangover brain. I should be able to remember what I've sown in these beds behind. Oh, a mustard, yes. So we did 2 rows of turnips down the outside so that they can spray out into the paths, and some giant red mustard in the middle. And then we started taking out some broccoli plants that are finished, or you know, sprouting broccoli plants that are finished up the top here. And we did the same. We took that out, we weeded it. We've got some new-ish plantings of kale here that are going to be ready for picking soon. But in this bed we did, oh, come on brain, think. Oh, pak choi, 2 different varieties of pak choi. Again, fairly late for pak choi, but just trying to get that shoulder season sowing done and dusted. But yeah, if you stuck with me to this point, thank you very much. As you probably tell by now, I am struggling a little bit this morning. I don't drink irresponsibly. I don't go out that often. I actually went out with my volunteers that I had on the farm yesterday afternoon, and we had a few beers in a pub. So yeah, anyway, that's not farming. Don't know why you want to know that, but yeah, that's what we did yesterday. That's why I feel like this. The last thing I should say on the volunteers is that I'm calling these people volunteers. Yes, they came and volunteered at my farm, and that's how we met. These people are now my friends. You know, we do stuff outside of the farm, so I should just clear that up, just in case they're watching. I don't think they do. I think they have enough of me when I'm here, but I should just clear that up. This bed here is where I put my next succession of radish, which I showed you in a vlog a couple of vlogs ago. But I've just shown you the chard that's ready for another picking. It's looking pretty lush, well, the green stuff is anyway. Is looking pretty great. So this will be going in the boxes this week. But yeah, ready for another picking. As always, the chard's been ridiculously productive this season, which is great. I can't remember if I'd showed you my sweet corn. It's right at the top end of the farm. You can see all the way down there as well, we were just a minute ago. So I've picked all the big cobs off this now. There's just little ones. It was pretty pathetic, this sweet corn. Didn't get very high, didn't even look very green, but it has produced some corn for me this season. I don't think the soil up this end of the farm is particularly nutritious. It needs a bit more work over the winter, so that's some of the jobs that I'll be doing to add fertility into this soil. It's also got quite weedy because it was a rubbish crop, but I didn't want to get rid of it. I've kind of neglected it a little bit. Let me see if I can spot one that's any good that's left. The size of that weed. So that's about the standard of my corn that I've got left. So I think we'll call that the end of the corn growing season, and we'll get rid of the weeds and the corn plants that are left in those beds. I have had some really good corn off of it. Let me see if I can dig out some photos for you and sort of overlay them onto this. But and it's been really, really popular. It's been just the feedback I've got from it. It's just that it's so sweet, and so much sweeter than you can get when it's fresh. And we know that as growers. If you're watching this, you're probably a grower yourself, but we know that food is better when it's picked fresh and eaten fresh, and it's free from chemicals and etc, etc. But the feedback on this has been absolutely exceptional. So it's a little bit of shame that I've got about 60 cobs left on these plants, maybe more, maybe even close to 100 cobs left on these plants across the 3 beds that I've got filled with corn. And well, apart from me eating this, certainly not good enough to sell. It tastes brilliant, but I can't sell that. Another crop that's not been particularly great for me this season is peppers. because of the final year farming in 2 locations, obviously my polytunnels and stuff is at the old location. I tried some peppers and chilies and aubergines and stuff like that outside, and whilst I've had great production in the stuff that's in the polytunnel, the stuff outside has been pretty feeble and pathetic. You saw how small those plants were in that quick clip. They should be at least 3 times the size of that by now. It has produced some food, but again, more the production from this, from the outside peppers, I should say, and outside chilies has been more just for me to eat, and you know, the occasional stuff. The other thing that I should say is a lot of this food, like these peppers, I've been taking to farmers markets and doing like ugly food selection. So I might just take a basket of maybe 20 or 30 items, whether that's ugly cucumbers that have got scars, ugly aubergines that haven't done particularly well, and some of these peppers and chilies, and just selling them off dirt cheap, 50p, whatever, you know, a couple of items for 50p, depending on what they are. And people absolutely love it, absolutely love it. Like, and it's a conversation starter on my food stands as well. So it's not a complete write-off. Like, I'm not gonna be able to put that, well, if I put that pepper in a veg box, I'd have to put like 4 more in there with it to make it worthwhile, because it's so small. You can tell by the size of it, it's so small. But, you know, I put a couple of them in a, you know, 2 of them for 50p at a farmer's market, and people absolutely love it. I just call them ugly peppers. And yeah, like I said, I'll just repeat myself, it's a real good conversation starter. But that's where I'm going to end the video today. It's been a bit of just a vloggy catch-up one, what I've been doing in the last couple of days. A little bit more of an update on what's going on. I'll keep filling you in with little bits as I get it done here and there. That's the plan, these short, sharp, raw vlogs going forward. I will answer some of the questions that people have put in the comments, like, you know, talking more about the farmers markets. I'll try and do a vlog at a farmers market. Plans for next year, finance stuff, that kind of thing. So stick with me, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.